Most people think Sigma males are just quiet, lone wolves, the guys who keep to themselves and think too much. But the truth? These men follow a set of unwritten rules that guide how they deal with people, decisions, and even betrayal. No book, no manual, these rules are carved into them by experience. By being let down one too many times. By trusting the wrong people. By being underestimated until it hurt. Quick question for you. Have you ever trusted someone you wish you hadn't? Think about that moment as we go through this, because you might see yourself reflected in these rules. And that's why Sigma males rarely give second chances. They'd rather walk away in silence than waste words arguing with someone who will never get it. People call them cold, detached, or distant, but what they're really seeing is someone who has learned, through pain, that not everyone has earned full access to who they are. If you've ever walked away from a person or a situation without explaining yourself, you know exactly what this feels like, and why it's so powerful. These rules aren't about being dramatic or mysterious for the sake of it. They're about staying grounded when others lose control. About seeing the games most people don't even realize they're playing. About refusing to bend to shallow expectations. Stay with me until the end, because as we uncover these hidden rules, you might just find a few that explain your own behavior better than anything you've ever heard before. So, let's pull back the curtain and uncover the hidden rules Sigma males live by. Rules that explain why some admire them, others misunderstand them, and a few secretly fear them. 1. Respect or distance. There's no middle ground here. For some people, a little disrespect is forgivable, they brush it off. For Sigma males, it's the line you don't cross. They won't cut you off for a single slip-up, but keep pushing. Keep testing those boundaries with little digs or hidden insults, and everything changes. Even one small lie, once exposed, is enough to flip a switch in their mind. From that moment, you're no longer on the same level you were before. They might not call you out. They might not make a scene, but something shifts. You've just been placed under silent observation. Every word you speak, every action you take is quietly logged away like evidence. He doesn't need to yell about it or confront you. He simply becomes hyper-aware. It's a mental red flag that stays raised until you prove it wrong. And here's what most people miss. Sigma males are exceptional at spotting patterns. If your behavior keeps showing cracks, they'll catch it long before you even know what you're revealing. That's why there's no middle ground with them. You can't halfway respect a Sigma. Either you are consistent, honest, and straightforward, or you'll feel that quiet wall go up between you and him. It's not revenge. It's not pettiness. It's self-protection. He's learned that tolerating repeated disrespect drains his energy, and that's the one thing he refuses to waste. 2. Trust few, test everyone. Once you've been burned, trust becomes expensive. And for Sigma males, it's priceless. Something you can't demand, rush, or fake your way into. With them, every step toward trust is like moving through a series of invisible tests, and you may not even realize you're being tested until you failed one. This is how Sigma males approach every connection. They don't walk into relationships assuming the best. They start with quiet observation. They notice what others miss, how you treat people who can't give you anything, whether your words match your actions, how you handle the small promises most consider forgettable. Each of these moments is a data point. Each outcome either strengthens the bridge of trust or cracks it. It's not paranoia, it's pattern recognition. Once they've seen someone be manipulative, dishonest, or careless, they keep that memory stored like a file. It doesn't mean they cut you off right away, but you'll never be allowed close enough to do serious damage again. In their world, trust takes time to build, but one betrayal can tear it all down in an instant. And here's what makes it hit harder. Once trust is gone, there is almost never a reset button. No amount of smooth talking will bring you back to where you were, because every future move will be weighed against the memory of what you did before. 3. Never reveal all strengths at once. There's a reason some people seem underestimated until the exact moment it matters most. That's no accident. It's deliberate strategy. While most people rush to show off everything they know and can do, Sigma males flip that idea on its head. They reveal just enough to handle the moment, keeping the rest of their abilities hidden like aces tucked deep in a deck. Why? Because when you put all your cards on the table too soon, you become predictable. Predictable people are easy to read, easy to manipulate, and Sigma males refuse to hand that advantage over. They'd rather let others underestimate them, even think they're ordinary, because that allows them to make their move when the timing is perfect. When the stakes finally rise, they bring out the skills no one saw coming, completely changing the outcome in their favor. It's not about manipulation, it's about protection. People who overshare end up giving others the blueprint to use their strengths against them, or worse, watch their ideas stolen and paraded around as someone else's work. Sigma males don't fall into that trap. What you see is only the surface layer, and when they finally choose to reveal what they're truly capable of, it's rarely random. It usually happens at the precise moment everyone thought they'd run out of options. When they step forward, it doesn't feel like a lucky guess, it feels like checkmate. They weren't silent because they had nothing to offer. They were quiet because they were saving the right move for the right moment. Number 4. Never compete where others play small. There's nothing more draining than battling for crumbs when the real prize is somewhere else entirely. And yet, that's what most people do every single day. Competing for attention, for validation, for tiny little victories that don't actually change anything. Sigma males see this for what it is, a distraction. They'd rather leave the race altogether than spend their energy fighting to win a game that doesn't even matter. Think about it. People brag about being the loudest voice in the room, flaunt the flashiest lifestyle online, or obsess over winning the latest round of office drama. That's the battlefield for most. But for Sigma males, that's just noise in the background. They don't fight for shallow victories because they know those little wins steal the focus, the momentum, and the vision needed to chase something bigger. Instead, they direct their energy where it actually counts. Sharpening their skills, building leverage, setting themselves up for the kind of victory that no one sees coming until it's too late. People often misinterpret this as arrogance or detachment. But it's not arrogance, it's efficiency. Why waste fuel trying to outrun someone in a race that goes nowhere, when you can quietly leave the track and build something they never even thought to create? For Sigma males, the rule is simple. If the competition doesn't matter in the long run, it isn't worth joining. They're not here to win the games that keep everyone else playing small. Number 5. Delay reaction to gain control. Most people feel the pressure to react instantly. Someone insults them, they snap back. Someone demands an answer, they rush to give one. But reacting on impulse is exactly how you get trapped in games you didn't choose to play. Sigma males run by a different playbook. Wait, watch, and respond only when it serves them. Delaying a reaction doesn't mean ignoring what's happening. Quite the opposite, it means they're paying attention. While everyone else is scrambling, spilling emotion, and defending themselves, Sigma males are calmly analyzing. They're reading the room, weighing the motives, and silently running through possible outcomes before they say a single word. And when they finally respond, it's not raw emotion, it's precision. Their timing throws people off completely. Someone expecting a shouting match is met with unnerving silence. Someone trying to guilt-trip them is met with nothing but a calm, steady stare. By the time they speak, their words cut sharper because they've already stripped the emotion away and focused on what actually matters. It's not about playing games, it's about control. Control of their emotions, their choices, and the entire situation as it unfolds. Because here's the truth. The one who reacts last is often the one who holds the most power. Sigma males know that silence, patience, and perfect timing can be far more intimidating than being the first to yell. Number 6. Let curiosity work against them. One of the most underrated forms of power in the world isn't shouting louder. It's knowing the exact moment to say absolutely nothing. People can't stand silence. Gaps in information eat at them. Unanswered questions live rent-free in their heads. and the unknown has a way of making them restless until they get clarity. Sigma males know this better than anyone, and they use it like a scalpel. When they hold back, when they leave a sentence unfinished or let a pause stretch too long, something fascinating happens. The other person starts talking. They over-explain. They contradict themselves. They reveal the very detail they were desperate to keep hidden. And here's the key: this isn't manipulation. This is just allowing human curiosity to do what it naturally does. Sigma males don't chase answers. They create the space that makes people hand those answers over willingly. You'll see this everywhere, in friendships, workplaces, even heated arguments. While everyone else is rushing to overshare and prove their point, the Sigma stays calm, measured, and almost unreadable. And the result? People lean in closer, guessing, probing, trying to figure them out, often exposing their own weak spots in the process. This is why a perfectly timed silence during a heated debate can feel like the most powerful statement in the room. And here's the twist. They're not silent just to seem mysterious. They're silent because information is leverage. The less they give away, the more others reveal, until the full picture becomes crystal clear. Number 7. Burn bridges if they block growth. Some people cling to relationships out of nostalgia, keeping connections alive simply because they've existed for years, even if those ties are quietly dragging them down. But there's a point where holding on starts costing more than letting go. And that's when the quiet ruthlessness of a Sigma male shows itself. If someone consistently stands in the way of their growth, they won't argue, they won't plead. They'll burn the bridge cleanly and keep moving. This isn't about being cruel. It isn't about drama. It's about clarity. Sigma males don't walk away after the first disagreement. They watch for patterns. A friend who keeps dismissing their dreams. A partner who chips away at their confidence. A workplace that suffocates potential. When those patterns repeat, a question forms in their mind. Is this connection pushing me forward or chaining me down? If the answer leans too often toward holding me back, that bridge is done. And what's truly unsettling is how final that decision feels. There's no quiet checking back in months later. No secret resentment they nurse in silence. They simply walk away and put all that energy into better paths. Can look cold to outsiders, but to the Sigma male, it's survival. Because they'd rather walk alone toward growth than stay in the comfort zone that slowly kills their progress. Number 8. Never argue where evidence is enough. Some people think the way to win an argument is to talk the loudest, keep repeating themselves, and throw emotion at the wall until something sticks. But truth doesn't need a debate when the proof is already sitting in plain sight. This is why Sigma males have very little patience for endless back and forth. If the facts are clear, the numbers line up, or reality speaks for itself, why waste breath? To them, continuing the argument past that point is like trying to convince someone the sky is blue. Either you see it or you don't. And if you don't, no amount of shouting is going to fix that. And this is exactly why their reaction can be so frustrating for others. People expect a fight, they expect drama, they expect someone to rise to their emotional chaos. But instead, the Sigma gives them silence. Or worse, one perfectly chosen fact that shuts the whole thing down cold. That's the real power of this rule. It shifts the weight back where it belongs, away from ego, away from pointless opinions, and drops it right onto reality itself. In the end, it saves them time, protects their energy, and draws a bold line between those who care about truth and those who just crave noise. If you've ever chosen calm over chaos, if you've ever ended an argument with nothing but one line of truth, hit that like button, subscribe to Epic Persona, and share your story in the comments. When was the last time you chose silence instead of a fight? Because that's what makes a Sigma dangerous. They don't fight for attention, they fight for clarity. Stay clear, stay calm, stay Sigma,